بسم الله الرحمن الرحيم. السلام عليكم ورحمة الله وبركاته. As usual, we get back with the rest of Unit 5. بقالنا في شي بسيط بالUnit 5. We are going to finish the Unit 5 and God willing, inshallah, we will start with Unit 6. And by the end of this lecture, we finish the half of the course. بنهاية هاي المحاضرة نكون إن شاء الله قد خلصنا يعني نص الكورس، وإن شاء الله النص الثاني يكون على خير وسلامة، ونتأمل ونتمنى أن تكون يعني استفاديتوا وتحقق لكم فد تقدم pushing forward. إن شاء الله تكونون قد يعني استفاديتوا من هاي المحاضرات. إخواني، أخذنا تذكرون بالمناقشة أخذنا الناون بلس ناون، ما لحقنا ناخذ الفيرب بلس ناون، إن شاء الله إذا صار مجال ناخذه. we reach to prepositions حروف الجر. أنا أتذكر قبل يومين يعني أو يوم نزلت لكم بهاي الصور الهواية اللي اعترضتوا عليها، ويعني مو اعترضتوا إنما حقكم كان a lot of pictures and videos صراحة. فواحدة من عدتين هاي الصور كانت متعلقة بالprepositions. إخواني الprepositions موضوع very difficult، لا تتصورونه هين، لكن إن شاء الله المهمات نقدر نعلمكم عليهن، والباقيات يعني day by day you are going to learn them. خلونا هسه نسمع التيب سكريبت concerning this task. Okay. Which one? This one? Okay.
Tape script 5.16.
I'm sorry.
Prepositions.
1.
Do you like listening to music?
Yeah.
Just a minute. I forget to connect the headphone. Just a minute, please.
Of course, I have it all.
Tape script 5.16. Prepositions. 1.
Do you like listening to music?
Yes, of course. I have it all on my iPod.
2.
What sort of music do you like?
All sorts, but especially jazz.
3.
Where's your girlfriend from? Is she Mexican?
No, she isn't. She's from Brazil. She speaks Portuguese.
4.
Is Paula married to Mike?
That's right. Do you know her?
5.
Do you want to come shopping with me?
Oh, yes. Can you wait a minute? I'll get my coat.
6.
Were there any good programmes on television last night?
I don't know. I was on the internet all evening.
7.
What do you want for your birthday?
Can I have an iPhone? Or is that too expensive?
8.
Can I speak to Dave? Is he at work today?
Sorry, he's on holiday all this week. He's back next week.
أعزائي، البربوزيشن أكثر شيء تتعلق بالكلمة اللي قبلها، يعني in between، يعني هي تكون رابط بين شيئين، فتتعلق بالكلام اللي قبلها والكلام اللي بعدها. هسه لو تشوفون مثلا أكثر الأحيان listen تاخذ to listening to. Do you like listening to music? Wow. What sort طبعا هي تلفظ of. What sort of music do you like? شوفوا sort of. Where is your girlfriend from? Is Paula married to? إخواني، هنا أكثر الأغلاط يصير بالmarried. أكثركم هسه أنا متأكد أعطيكم إياها فراغ تاخذونها married with Mike. هي هنا married to، لأن هنا إحنا نفكر think in English. we should think in English not think in Arabic. إحنا باعتبار عرب فمن نترجم نقول تزوج فلان بفلانة أو تزوج فلان يعني من فلانة. هي شوف is Paula married to not with. هذا يعني common mistakes in English. أكثر المتعلمين اللغة الإنجليزية يغلطون بهاي. Do you want to come shopping with me؟ أكثر المي تاخذ with. Were there any good programs on television last night؟ طبعا التلفزيون تاخذ on. What do you want for your birthday؟ Can I speak to؟ فاللي أرجو من عندكم أنه تركزون بذني إن شاء الله. أيضا أنا طبعا دزيت لكم صورة بهالبربوزيشن وراح أيضا إن شاء الله نتعمق بها أكثر بالمناقشة. هسه تشوفون من الصور مجموعة صور أيضا اللي بيهن can I and could I. هسه خلونا نسمع التيب سكريبت اللي هي متعلقة بهذا التاسك. 18
Tape script 5.17. Polite requests. 1.
Can I have a coffee, please?
Yes, of course.
2.
Can you open the door for me, please?
Sure, no problem.
Thanks.
3.
Could I have the menu, please?
Certainly, madam.
4.
Could you tell me the time, please?
It's 10:30.
Thanks a lot.
يعني طريقة السؤال هاي طبعا كلش مهمة ويعني مفيدة في حياتكم. اللي can I have a coffee please? Can you open the door for me please? Could I have the يعني حسب هنا شنو اللي مطلوب. و could you tell me the time please. هنا أنا قلت لكم سابقا وأعيد عليكم الفرق بين الكان آي والكود آي، بالإضافة إلى أنه الكود هي الماضي مال كان، إلا أنه تستخدم للطلب البولايت، الطلب المؤدب، لأنهم عندهم الكلام فورمال وانفورمال وأكو سيمي فورمال. إما أنه الطريقة تكون مؤدبة بولايت تستخدم ويا يعني البولايت يعني المؤدب والرسمي طبعا، والانبولايت اللي هي بين الأصدقاء والأهل. فهنا إذا كان الطلب يعني فورمال رسمي مؤدب could I، وإذا كان يعني informal يقول can I. أوكي هنا تشوفون هذا السبوت can or could I and can and could you express a request. طبعا هو طلب يشرح الطلب can could I ask you a question، و can could you do something for me. هاي على هذا الطلب أنه يفتح الباب. can could express an ability. طبعا هي الكان والكود أكثر شيء تشرح القابلية والقدرة. can I speak can I swim can I drive etc. يعني طريقة شرح للقدرة. طبعا راح أنا يعني حضرت لكم فيديو يشرح الكان آي والكود آي والمي آي اللي هي more formal مي آي. هنا أنا ما ذاكرها بالكتاب بس خليت لكم إياها حتى تستفادوا من عندها. هسه ناخذ هاي ما تبقى اللي هي هذا التمرين تاسك. خلونا نسمع التيب سكريبت اللي هي 5.19.
Tape script 5.19. 1.
Can I have a cheese sandwich, please?
In white or brown bread?
2.
Could you post this letter for me, please?
Yes, of course. No problem.
3.
Can you give me your email address?
I think you have it already.
4.
Can I speak to you for a moment?
Can it wait? I'm a bit busy.
5.
Could you lend me £20 till tomorrow?
I can lend you 10, but not 20.
6.
Can you give me a hand with this box?
Of course. Do you want it upstairs?
Tape script 5.19. 1,
Can I have a cheese sandwich, please?
In white or brown bread?
2,
Could you post this letter for me, please?
Yes, of course. No problem.
3,
Can you give me your email address?
I think you have it already.
4,
Can I speak to you for a moment?
Can it wait? I'm a bit busy.
5,
Could you lend me £20 till tomorrow?
I can lend you 10, but not 20.
6,
Can you give me a hand with this box?
Of course. Do you want it upstairs?
هذني جمل متعلقات بالكان والكود. وقلنا يعني إن شاء الله راح نعطيكم مقطع فيديو توضيحي، وإن شاء الله نناقشها بصورة مفصلة بالدسكشن. هسه تقريبا خلصنا اليونت 5. This is unit 6. إن شاء الله بداية الأسبوع المقبل we are going to start with unit 6. هسه خلونا نشوف هذا المقطع اللي اختاريته لكم حتى تكون الصورة أوضح بالنسبة لكم. الموضوع هو بسيط لكن يعني حتى تكون الصورة يعني.
Hi, I'm Rebecca from Ingvid. In this lesson, I'm going to show you 3 simple ways that you can ask a polite question in English. Okay? Now, usually when we're asking a question, we're asking if we can do something. Hi, I'm Rebecca from Ingvid. In this lesson, I'm going to show you 3 simple ways that you can ask a polite question in English. Okay? Now, usually when we're asking a question, we're asking if we can do something, where we're asking permission, or we're asking someone else to do something for us, in which case we are requesting that they do something. All right? And there are 3 key words that you can use for this purpose, but in different ways. So let's look at what they are. All right. So those 3 words are can, could, and may. Now, of course, you've heard those words before, and I'm sure you use them as well, but let's be really sure when to use which one. So it's very easy. We use can in more informal situations. All right? What do I mean by informal? For example, with your family or friends. All right? We use could in more semi-formal situations. Semi-formal means a little bit formal. For example, with your colleagues, people you work with, right? With your hairdresser, perhaps. With a salesperson in a store, all right? There we could use could. So we kind of know that person, or we don't know that person too well, but it's not a very formal situation. And the last is in formal situations when we use may. So what's a formal situation? Well, for example, if you're talking to a client or a customer, or you're at an interview, then you want to be on your best behavior, use your best manners, be very polite, be very formal and proper, and that's when we use may. Now, there is a little difference in terms of the grammar of how we use these 3 words. So, with can and could, we can use those 2 with all of the pronouns. So we can say, can I, can you, can we, could they, could he, could she, could it, all right? We can use those with all of the pronouns. But when we come to may, we can only use it with I or we, all right? May I do this or may we? You can't really ask permission for somebody else so much. So these are the 2 ways we use may, all right? Sometimes you might hear it with 1 or 2 other pronouns, but really these are the most common, all right? So that's what you want to be able to use, so you can always be 100% right. Now, let's look at the same question and how it's different with the 3 words, all right? So let's say I'm at home and I ask someone from my family, can I have some orange juice? All right, so there I'm using can because it's really informal. Now let's say I'm at the mall, I'm at the food court, and I'm ordering some juice. So I say, could I have some orange juice? All right, slightly more formal. And now let's pretend that we're in a fancy restaurant and I'm ordering orange juice. So then I say, may I have some orange juice? Okay. Now you could add the word please also, but with some of these, it's already very polite. So you don't have to go overboard. You don't have to do too much. You don't have to always say please, especially when you're asking for yourself. Okay. If you're requesting something that someone else do, then often we do add the please as well. Okay, now what are some of the responses? We're not really focusing on the responses in this lesson, but let me just tell you what would be the appropriate responses, positive responses and negative responses to these questions. So if someone said, can I have some orange juice? Informal, the answer might be, sure, here you go. Or, could I have some orange juice? Yes, of course. May I have some orange juice? Certainly. Okay? So you see that the formality of the question matches the formality of the answer. If it was negative, can I? Sorry, we're all out. Could I? I'm sorry, we're all out. May I? I'm afraid we're all out. Okay? Same basic information, but represented quite differently. So now let's look at some more examples. All right, so informally, we could say, can I help you wash the dishes? That would be a really nice thing to say to someone. Okay, all right. Or, can you clear the table, please? Now you see here, because I'm requesting something of someone else, it's perfectly nice and fine to say please at the end. Okay, can you clear the table, please? What does that mean, clear the table? After you finish eating, you know, there are a lot of dishes on the table. And when you take those dishes to the kitchen or wherever and you clear the table, that's called clearing the table. All right. Next, in a semi-formal situation where we're using could, we could say, could I get your email address? Or could you send me the report, please? All right. That's again, some business examples, very common questions that we need to ask people. All right. And here, the more formal situation, may I help you? This is probably the most common question that is used in customer-oriented situations. Every time you walk into a store, especially a fancy store, may I help you? May I help you? Or on the phone if you have a customer service job, okay? And then sometimes a little bit more specific. May I help you carry your bags, ma'am? Let's say in a hotel, all right? So anytime you're trying to be really polite to that other person, you want to use may. These were my examples. Now let's see how you do. All right, so now you need to decide whether to use can I, could I, or may I in these situations. All right, so you're talking to your professor. What do you say? Blank, submit my paper on Monday. Can I, could I, may I? Well, this is something where you are going to have to decide. Perhaps you'll say, could I submit my paper on Monday? Or, depending on your relationship with your professor, depending on the personality of the professor, depending on the personality of the university or the country that you live in, you might need to use the more formal version. May I submit my paper on Monday? I would probably say in that situation, may I, because I really want to be able to submit my paper late, which is probably what we're asking here. All right? So sometimes, even if your relationship with someone is semi-formal, you might still want to act a little more formal because of your specific request. All right? Okay. Now, here you're talking to a friend. So what do you say? Blank, open the window. So here, it's pretty straightforward. Can I open the window? All right. You're talking to a hotel guest. Blank, help you get a taxi. So again, here you want to be very formal. May I help you get a taxi? Good. You're talking to a salesperson in the store. Blank, speak to the manager. What are you going to say? This is one of those semi-formal situations, all right? So you'd probably say, could I speak to the manager? All right, good. Hope you got those. Now let's move here to can you or could you? All right. So you're talking to a child, your child probably. So what do you say? Blank, clean your room. So probably most parents would say, can you clean your room? You can always be polite to your children because you're also trying to teach them. So you could always say, could you clean your room, please? Because that way you are modeling how they should speak. So that's fine. But on an everyday basis, lots of people would probably say, can you clean your room? Okay? Or at least add the please. Next, let's say you're speaking to an audience and you want them to switch off their cell phones, right? So blank, switch off your cell phones. So here you would say, could you? Again, it's more formal. Could you switch off your cell phones, please? All right, there would be a good place to put the please in. All right, you're talking to your brother. Blank, call me later. So what would you say? Can you, right? It's an informal relationship, you know him. Can you call me later? I'm busy right now. Next, you're asking a receptionist, blank, connect me to the sales department, please. So what would you say? Again, you want to be a little bit more polite. Could you connect me to the sales department, please? All right. Now, that was really good. Hope you got all of those right. If you want to really master these three words, can I, could I, and may I, then please go to our website at www.ingrid.com, and there you can do a quiz on this and really master it so that you know it once and for all, and that's it. You don't have to keep going round and round.